Les Misérables is 2012 sort of really big sort of musical, and it's directed by the guy that won an Oscar for Best Director and Motion Picture for The King's Speech. So obviously you know this is going to be a big Oscar contender sort of film. But what was really sort of intriguing me is I've heard the myths and the rumours that I heard that this is 100% singing entire from start to finish. I've heard it's over 3 hours long. I've heard like Russell Crowe is not really singing, it's not really that good, and I've heard such and such. So I really was quite intrigued to know if all of these things were true, and then some. The story of the film is pretty good, although I felt as though when they got to like sort of Paris and this French Revolution thing, I thought it was a bit weak at certain parts, and there was probably some scenes I thought that they kind of dragged out. You know, they could have cut the story down, like shorten it a little bit. But it's not really like 3 hours long. It's but near enough the same length and time as The Dark Knight Rises, so it's not really that long. If you've seen The Dark Knight Rises and you didn't bother about the time space, then you're not going to bother about this. But yeah, the story was pretty good, and there were some really good, interesting characters I love in the film. Now, the thing is I love about this film, right? Hugh Jackman and Hafhaway, the brunette girl in the French Revolution, you know, when she's grown up from a little girl, like, she was amazing, and that's fine, they were all, like, really good, and I love how it kind of, you know, how I just actually do love, like, all the sort of the sets and whatnot, and how big the stage, and you actually see some people, like, they're at their lowest point and what they do when they're at their lowest low. And for Anne Hathaway to get to how low she got in that film was truly, like, unbelievable. And, you know, Hugh Jackman's character, you know, always kind of like running away from Russell Crowe, even though he's trying to do what the good thing, you know, and it kind of shows like how one man's act of kindness actually does change literally everyone's like sort of life. And even though that Russell Crowe's voice probably wasn't like the best, you know, that he could do, like, he's not really a natural born singer, but I thought he fitted the role that he played really, really well. Now this of course comes to the problems. I do think the film is a wee bit long for what it is. It's not... The rumour of it being like 100% singing is completely false. It's 99.5% singing. Like, there are a couple of lines, but you sometimes feel you don't get like a bit of a break. And the whole like sort of time jump thing, like, you could probably like go away for like a minute or something, like maybe quite later into the toilet or get a snack. You come back and you've no idea that the time jumped at all. So you're kind of left wondering like, so what's kind of happened, whatnot. And one of the problems I had is basically when they get to sort of Paris and this French Revolution, is there's one character I felt was completely, utterly weak. It's this guy that falls in love with Cosette, and like from a distance, right? I felt he was really the weakest link, and the same goes for Amanda Seyfried. I thought they two were the weakest out of this film, because this guy was meant to be really like sort of supposed to be an important role, but his best friend in the film outstages him like every time. The brunette outstages him like any time. Whenever like there's someone stronger in the film, I just feel as though he's the weak link, and Amanda Seyfried didn't really help it. I believe that she was only put in there to look, you know, you know, because she is such a gorgeous young lassie, but I felt she was just there to look pretty, and that's about it. And Russell Crowe's voice, yes, it's not the best, but to be honest, it's not really that bad to what people have been over exaggerating with. Now, does this have good replay value? I don't know. Like, I'm happily have seen it once, but I think if you truly do love like musicals and whatnot, you're probably going to see this once more in the cinema. And for Blu-ray purposes, I think actually, to be honest, this is probably a good like straight to buy Blu-ray. So I would wait until it comes out in Blu-ray and watch it sort of there, because then what you can always do, you can always sort of fast forward the bits that you're not really that bothered with. So I think this is a strong recommended film, and yeah, does have good replay value. But to me, I would wait until Blu-ray. And so, would I recommend it? Yes. But if you don't like musicals like at all, this is not going to convince you whatsoever. This is pure musical at its best. But I think anyone that probably loves the theatre or their novel, or really loves their musicals, will absolutely love this. And I was quite surprised that I actually liked it.